Psalms 20 verse 7. Psalm 20 verse 7. It says some trust, NIV, some trust in chariots. That's okay, leave it on King James. That's okay, that's fine. Some trust in chariots and some in horses. Let me explain. What that means is that some trust in their powers. A church of God that is full of power, that is full of authority, that's full of the Spirit of God inside, challenged by a demonic voice speaking against the children of God. It's time to wake up and pray. They trust in their horses, in their powers. You know what? They are convinced that they can do it and it must be done. They are convinced because they trust. They trust what they believe. But the part that I love is it. But we, as long as they trust in that, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. You don't negotiate with the enemy who has vowed to destroy or bring you down. You don't negotiate with the enemy that you are at war with. You don't play pity party. It is time to fight and take back what is yours. It is time to fight back and take back your joy. It is time to fight back and take back your family and your children. Somebody say enough is enough. Say enough is enough. Somebody say enough. It's enough. I'm just saying all those things should get you prepared for how you can deal with some of these things. Before taking back what is yours, you have to first understand and identify the type of enemy you're dealing with. Before you can take back what is yours, you have to first of all understand, is it Al-Qaeda or Al-Shabaab? You see, these are different enemies. There's the Al-Qaeda one. There's the Al-Shabaab. There's another one they call Boko Haram. You have to understand, what type of enemy am I dealing with? And then what kind of approach or what type of weapon will I use to attack this enemy? You have to have the understanding of the way you can deal with this enemy. Number one, you have to know if you are dealing with a physical enemy first. Before you get into warfare, you have to know or understand, I'm dealing with a physical enemy. Now, we do have physical enemies who you know, this one is my enemy. The person will come to you face to face and tell you, I will see how you can make it. You're looking at the person's face to face. That's the one I love, my Nigerian women. When they display that, they will say, you say me. I will show you who I am. You are dealing with a physical enemy. Number two, you have to know if you are dealing with a spiritual enemy before you can engage. Number three, you have to know if you are dealing with both spiritual and physical. Hello. There are those you are dealing with both. You know who they are physically, and you know that these people are also diabolic. So you are dealing with them in two ways. There are some that you don't know who they are, which is the most dangerous one, because when you don't know who they are, you don't even know how to fight. You just pray and pray and pray. Are you listening to me? I want you to write it down. When dealing with an enemy, you have to understand the rules of engagement. This will help you. Before you deal or go into prayer, you have to understand the rules of engagement. Before my sister goes into Iraq or anywhere, they would tell her and teach her there are certain places you don't go. There are certain things you don't step on. Because it might be what do you call that thing? A bomb. The thing when you step, it goes boom. The grenade, the one they bury on the ground. Mice. Land mines, okay. Because I knew you were in Afghanistan too during there. You see, I just know boom. That's what I know. Is when you know boom, it just means something explodes. My English is very good. You have to understand the rules of engagement. Number two, any battle that must be won must be confronted. Any battle that you have to win. If your marriage, your finances, your joy, your peace, whatever the situation that you feel that has been, it must be confronted. I'm going to show you how you're going to confront that. For America to be liberated to a certain point from some of these people, which they are still fighting that, they had to confront the enemy. They sat down and thought about it. These are the people who came, and these are the people, and this is what we're going to do. We take the battle to the field. Even though sometimes they do it for their own selfishness. But you all have to know how to confront the enemy. This is another one. You have to also understand that the enemy is an intimidator. Know that. He will scare you. The enemy will scare you. You put the problems in your life like, when you look at it, oh well, I may just as well just give up. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. I'm getting close to finish. 2 Corinthians. Do you have the New American Standard Bible version? NASB? Because that part. Remember that we said that the devil is a schemer. He's a schemer. Good. It says, so that no advantage will be taken of us by who? Let me read that again. So that no advantage will be taken of us by who? For we are not what? Of what? Remember, the scheme came out again. It was there in Ephesians. And here we have 2 Corinthians. The scheme, what it means is that when you are foolish in anything, the devil will take advantage of you. The devil will take advantage of your finances, will take advantage. We are not ignorant of the devices of the enemy, lest he gains advantage over us. Are you catching it? Ignorance is the advantage of the enemy over you. Ignorance. I'm the type of pastor that when I know something is about to destroy me or destroy the church or destroy anything, I will put a stop to it right away. You got to learn how to put a stop to something immediately before it overtakes you. Because if you don't know how to put a stop to something, the scheming of the devil will take advantage of you. Amen. The enemy's first agenda is to fool you by buying your trust. The enemy's first agenda is to fool you by buying your trust. Number two, the enemy's second agenda is that they will always have a plan. You have to know that's the scheme. The second agenda is that you have to know that the enemy always has a plan. It's to destroy you. And the second one, the third one. The enemy's third agenda is to take advantage of you. Their agenda is to paralyze and weaken every believing system, other than to think that nothing like that exists. The Bible says, no weapon or anything or scheme that is fashioned against you shall ever prosper. You can't stand up and fight for what is yours until you love it. Anytime you come to a place of wrestling, until you love it, you can't fight for it. If you don't love your children, you won't fight for them. Custody. I love my children. The husband wants it. The woman wants it. They're fighting because they love it. You will not fight for your church if you don't love your church. You won't fight for your pastor if you don't love your pastor. Until you love it, when there is a confrontation from the enemy, you will stand and say, be thou removed from here right now and be thrown out in the sea, because I see that in this place you don't belong with us. I see that